So I guess as it turns out, doing food challenges is something weird. That's the response I got from a lot of people anyway, right? When I first kind of got into watching food challenges, something that I would find myself doing is actually eating while watching them, right? It kind of gets that hunger going. Or especially if I'd be in a calorie deficit, wanting to watch somebody else. I guess they call that mukbang. Just something watching someone else kind of helps you through the deficit, right? But unfortunately for me, it would turn into eating when I'm watching people eating. So it was something that I try and break, and it's still a habit I'm working on. But this challenge was kind of a confidence builder. This wasn't necessarily, let's say, a challenge so much for me. But a couple cool little things about it is, number one, it was the first time I had someone else in the video participating. And even if I know they didn't want to be on camera, but it was kind of cool to just be doing it with someone. It was kind of what they call collab. And, you know, even though we weren't, say, teaming on the same thing, we were kind of all there together, just kind of hanging out. And I really liked that. And I found that out that, you know, just being me by myself was kind of awkward, being on camera. And this kind of gave another element to it, someone to interact with rather than just me with a camera. And that's something in the food challenge world, you got to have a personality for it, is to really interact with your audience. It's not a gift I have. So to me, unfortunately, it'd just be me eating. And so how do you edit that? Like music, there's a couple different ways to do it, cool angles, all the best of the best, you know, they have their own little spins on how they do it. But for me, this was just something that was easy. It was just eating some Pack-Wheat chips and having fun. So the milk was something I had tossed in at the end. I thought about, but I call it a challenge because it's something I don't think many people can do. And I'm not encouraging people to go do 2 bags of Pack-Wheat chips. But surprisingly, I haven't had these chips since, I don't think. And not because I don't like them or because I just haven't seen them in a while. So they're harder to come by. Maybe people don't buy them as much. So yeah, it's just, I know supply chain stuff got messed up for a while. And yeah, so I haven't really seen these. But at this point, you know, it's one of those things. I needed a confidence builder to just get a win, right? Get something that I'd taken on. And so this one didn't wreck me too bad. It was really just there to kind of, like I said, number one, make a video. Number two, you know, after getting destroyed from the nachos, it was something that, you know, give me a little bit of motivation to keep going forward, and a redemption kind of in the nacho world, right? Chips that I liked. So that was this one. It was pretty basic. There was nothing fancy about it. You can obviously tell there's some things I kind of learned in the editing process, which was, you know, moving text in, and that was all done through the Windows kind of software, which was not very good. But yeah, compiling these videos I found was the hardest part, especially, you know, after capturing everything from 2 cameras, then I had to go through all the footage and figure out how to fast forward it, get different angles. So it was a lot of learning at this point, and it would take, you know, I don't know, at this point, like maybe, I don't know, 5 to 10 hours ish, depending on the video. Which brings up my last point, is you notice the time of these videos started going down. Once I realized I wasn't doing anything that impressive, I was like, well, nobody's gonna wanna watch me eat for 15 minutes. That doesn't make any sense. So let me compress them shorter and shorter and shorter. And in my mind, I was like, okay, 5 to 10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes if it's a better video, or I win, or like I conquer it, or, you know, maybe like more like 5 if it's something super fast. So that was kind of always in my mind, you know, to try and keep an audience in, like rather than what will happen a lot of times in challenges, and I do this myself, is I'll check the start, watch it, and then just go to the end and see, do they do it or not? And so that was kind of something I didn't want to do these as just a way of, did I win or beat them or not? It was like more of to provide information, some cool fun facts, as you know, I went along the way, things I encountered. So if you watch the video start to finish, I would always comment on things. But that's kind of why I'm doing this, is to kind of talk about more of the things that kind of came up that I decided to leave out, because I was brand new to making all this, and it was very intimidating. It was very hard. It was challenging. And it's probably one of the hardest things I've done in life, is try and figure this stuff out and, you know, come up with videos that are entertaining or engaging. And I'm very far from the best, even to be a decent creator. But I think I've done the job in terms of getting enough, say, material to where I can go back to all this stuff and learn from it. So that's kind of the point, to get better, and which I always want to do is get better. So now that I'm watching these, I can see areas that I could do way better now in terms of editing, in terms of angles, and that's something else too. The last thing in terms of cinematography is getting the right angles, lighting. That's something that's a whole nother thing. So that's pretty much it. But just as I finish there, I'll talk about, you know, you know, this was a lead up to the 1 gallon milk challenge, which I talked about at the end of this. So till the next video, I'm gonna get this soup down. Till the next video, take care, peace out.